Today's video features one of those machines that escaped being poked and prodded by you, the members of the public, over the last couple of weeks. Allow me to introduce you to the Mattel Aquarius. Now, the Aquarius is a noteworthy machine, and I've got lots of noteworthy machines in my collection. We've got the Memotech MTX, we've got the Sam Coupe, other machines like those. The ones I put front and centre at the exhibition, the ones that I called the Fireflies, the Unicorns. They were released by engineers of a dream who made an excellent computer, a computer that was ultimately unsuccessful because of market forces. And the Aquarius isn't one of those. The Aquarius is noteworthy because it is objectively terrible. It's an awful machine. It's got a Z80 processor, but came with only 4K of built-in memory. Even the cheapest Spectrum had 16K, and it's got no graphics capability whatsoever. Let me show you what they did instead of having graphics. So I'm going to write a program, and another thing about the Aquarius is its keyboard is also objectively terrible. Look where they've positioned keys. Okay, so there's no spacebar, but that was a common omission at the time. The Spectrum didn't bother with a spacebar. But they've put the space key there, where you'd expect the shift key to be. They've put the return key there, where you'd expect another shift key to be, and they've put the actual backspace delete key there, where you'd kind of naturally home to look for enter or return. So forgive me if I don't actually get this program right. I'm not going to write the standard hello world. I'm going to write for I equals 1, 2, 255, 20, print. If I can type the word print on this awful keyboard, choose I, semicolon, 20, go, no, not go to 10, I want to do next, I. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a loop, I'm iterating from 1 to 255, and I'm printing out every character in the character set of the Aquarius. So if I go run, there you go. And so what they've got is a bunch of block graphics, which is kind of similar to what machines like the ZX81 and similar did, the Commodore machines, the VIC-20. But in amongst the block graphics are all these little characters. So like a kind of player type dude, a spaceship with a 1 on it. That's supposed to be an alien dude. Aeroplanes. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but you get the idea. And so the intention was that if you were a games creator, they would give you a collection of character graphics that you could use to make up your games. In actuality, you are limited, as we'll see later on. About the only thing the Aquarius had going for it is that it was cheap. It came out in the US in June 1983 for about $160, which would have been reasonable, but it came out at a time when Commodore was in the middle of their price war with TI and Atari, and they were forcing the prices down. So when it came out, you could get a TI 99 4, or you could get a VIC-20 for cheaper than that $160. And any one of those machines, the TI particularly, would have been far, far superior to the poor Aquarius. I can further illustrate how awful the machine is by actually showing you some of the software library. And there weren't many titles released, 20 or so. I've got this Aquarius MX cartridge, which really is a labour of love. I mean, you know, despite how awful the Aquarius was, there are enthusiasts out there who love this machine to this day and still produce modern hardware for it. But let's take a look at some of the games. I'll get the MX cartridge in. There we go. And I'm going to go load ROM and ROMs, and I'm going to look at Astro Smash. Now this is a port of the game on the Intellivision console, which was the pack-in title for the Intellivision, and this is not terrible actually. So much like the actual original Intellivision game. The graphics aren't much different. It's using the block. Oh, I seem to have died. It's using the block graphics, and on a casual glance, you wouldn't necessarily realise it's not the actual Intellivision version. But then Astro Smash was never a particularly great game in the first place. I mean, you can just sit here and just wave your gun around at the bottom. Yeah, okay, that's quite enough of that. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try playing. Okay, so I don't know the keys to this game, so I'm not really going to be able to play it, but I'm going to load up Tron Deadly Discs, because if I play the game, look, you can see that the actual characters are made up of those little dudes you saw in the character set when I printed it out, which suits this game because the actual original graphics weren't much different to that. But it's almost like what they've done is they've taken some of the early Intellivision games, taken the sprites out the early Intellivision games, lobbed them in the character set of the poor Aquarius, and called it a day. So yes, Tron looks fine. Astro Smash looks fine. Oh, I appear to have died. I'm so disappointed. But let me show you something else. And actually, what I'll do is I'm going to go into MX Basic, which is an extended version of the basic part of the Aquarius MX cartridge. And I'm going to go into DIR, CD, S1, CACs, and CAC very much describes the useless keyboard. CAC very much describes the game's quality. CD. I'm doing Pack Mister. That was a good guess. Run loader dot bass. Okay, this is Pac Mister rather than Pac Man by K Baker. Didn't he play R2D2? So keys: Control Shift C B H S. Okie dokie. Press any key. And welcome to one of the worst Pac-Man clones I've ever seen. I love the way that Pac Mister is one half of the Tron Deadly Discs dude, because they didn't have a Pac-Man sprite, and the ghosts, if you look closely, are actually the spaceships that I showed you in the character set. And the movement obviously is in character increments, no single pixel animation here. So the whole thing very much looks like a Sinclair Spectrum Pac-Man clone written in Sinclair Basic. Absolutely awful. And the reality is the games, really, this is as good as they got. That's quite enough of that. So, what happened to the Aquarius? Well, it was on the market for a massive total of 5 months. June 1983 to October 1983, and then that was it. Mattel withdrew it from the market, and, you know, that was the end of that. Now, the manufacturers, the Aquarius was not actually manufactured by Mattel. It was manufactured by a company called Radafin, and they were the guys who made, if you came to the exhibition, you might have seen the Ace-Tronic console next to the Atari 2600, and that was made by Radafin, as I say. And those Radafin consoles were released under a whole raft of different names and different brands across mainly Europe, and they were fairly terrible as well. But Radafin tried to keep the Aquarius line going after Mattel canned it, and there was a very brief Aquarius 2 that was reviewed in 1 or 2 magazines, but I don't think it ever made it to market, and I think it was just basically an Aquarius with a better keyboard and a RAM upgrade, 16K extra RAM. So that about wraps it up. Objectively, the worst machine in my collection by a country mile, and it actually makes it kind of unique. It's the machine that their own developers, Mattel's own developers, actually gave it the slogan Aquarius, a machine for the 70s. Remembering, of course, that it was released in 1983. It's so terrible, it's actually kind of awesome in a bizarro, warped kind of way. So we salute you, Aquarius, because if nothing else, you gave us a laugh.